react to people that conduct themselves in a certain way, and you like, man, this is a person who couldn't stand next to me in no environment that I come from, yet in this environment where we're forced to be peers, I gotta watch some sucker shit get rewarded.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? With certain people that I've made sure that I didn't do with, just to not water down what people think is a hell of a product. Because if I know if I show up and do what it is that I do, then it's gonna make people realize that what you doing ain't what they think it is. And I got too much love for you to do that to you. But in the same token, if you got the ability to come over here and bring them people who with you to see me, don't hesitate, because then you forcing me to come over here and show motherfuckers that we doing that. It's different. Every day.
It don't matter what the time
Every
is.
single day,
Yes,
I get to get up and go get it, and whatever come with that is mine. You got people like you and I who have building a whole legacy from scratch, and you finally get to the point where you feel like you made it, and you stand next to a motherfucker who pulled teeth.
But when it's time for me to create my shot, I now come from off the court and turn into Phil Jackson.
Right.
I got to have the right people on the court with me.
Right.
So we can run the game plan.
Right.
So when I see a dude on the court with me on my team, and we running isolation, and he bringing the defender over here by me,
Yeah.
we got to check him out the game.
Yeah.
Ain't no disrespect on this, but we going for the championship.
Because then you can see that a lot of that know the type of information that I know is taking advantage of these niggas, man.
Ooh, we gonna get into that. Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, people like that. That's no different than 85 South to me. You see what I'm saying? Just the white version. They doing the white thing. 2 bears, 1 cave. They doing the white thing. That's literally the black AS. Literally, because of the privilege attached to it, it's so much more circumstance surrounding it that y'all gotta work twice as hard to get wrapped around y'all.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it go.
I think feelings have got me nowhere. It's been a long time since I've got any reward for feelings. You know what I mean? I've only lost when feelings was involved.
Moments in between, you gotta check yourself.
Yeah.
Because it ain't nothing wrong with having that perspective. Like, for me, that's why I don't answer the question, where you see yourself in 5 years.
Right.
Because if you'd have asked me that 10 years ago, I wouldn't have named half the shit I've done already.
And that's the same with my people, my granddaddy, but they did and it took everything they had to keep them afloat. They broke them men down back then, man.
Yeah,
Like,
you can tell, because you look at the old pictures, niggas can't even grow the mustache the same way no more. I'm responsible for what you need, not what you want.
Right.
So whatever it is I wanted, I was responsible for getting that at an early age. So at 9 years old, I started working, getting my own money. I started paying bills at 14, real ones. So that responsibility that I had is what shaped me. So once I got to the point where I was like, all right, I went to college and got a degree, went to go get a job with them people. They told me I was gonna be making $6.25 an hour. I said I can't do that because
it hurt.
I can't. If I'm gonna be poor and struggling, I'm gonna be poor and struggling, building my own legacy than helping somebody else build theirs, hoping they recognize my value. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when I started, I made the decision to stay in North Carolina because I went to Winston-Salem State. So I decided to stay down there because I knew if I went home, that lifestyle that I knew I can tap into would have hindered me from doing what was necessary to go 10 toes in. And this is the first shit I ever fully dedicated myself to. So I said, I got to stay where I don't know nobody. I ain't got no opinions that's going to matter. You know what I mean? Because, you know, just that lifestyle that you established, do you think that that's hindering you from being able to say now you can't all the way be removed and it ain't saved you
know,
yet?
It ain't. I think because I'm smart, I think I'm probably one of the only guys that can do it this way. That's why the podcast ain't got a co-host. That's why I move. You don't see it nobody around me. This is established by me.
That's one thing that I respect about what you do. Everybody else, you know, sit around and talk to each other. That's the established structure that you see. You sit down and do it. The old podcast, when podcasting first started, you look at the Bill Burrs and all them dudes. It was just one man in the microphone. Wasn't no video. It was just straight audio. And that's for you to put the audio element to that and still be able to hold the attention of the people by yourself is something that most motherfuckers can't do.
Yeah, because even when you mention Bill Burr, that nigga's a fucking genius with the talking and all y'all dudes that do comedy. People, I think for me, bro, people downplay the mentality of comics. You gotta have extreme perspective. Like, I mean, another level of understanding to be able to take something and make it funny. Whether it was funny or not, I can twist and turn this motherfucker and put a punchline in it. So what I'm doing is capturing your mind. And changing your mind and making you look at something how I look at it. Totally different thing. But for me, I think the street thing is all about, that's why I'm so hard on these podcast niggas. That's why I'm loud about you niggas as suckers. Number one, because I don't need the cosign. I'm going to be okay. I swear to God, no matter what. Right? I'm by myself, bro. That should tell a nigga enough. The boy ain't got nobody money, nobody influence. What you see coming out is me. 1,000,000%. And that's what I think makes me different when I see 20 people, 30 people. But here's something that I wanted to talk to you about, but I'm going to hold that. Let's get back to what I was just talking about. I believe that it's the money. It's a money thing with me. It ain't an information thing. I gotta be put in a position to know how to capture all the money available for what I'm doing, to be able to clock out everything else that's holding me up and holding my family up. You see, you don't know how bad that's why I'm by myself. Playing both, like it's a lot at stake, bro. I'm a nigga that's on Breakfast Clubs. I'm got all kind of shit going on. I can't, and it's like, but is it enough money when you already have established something prior to coming in? Like right now, I'm already in some people's dream spot. You know what I'm saying? Like from the outside, right? So like a guy starting a podcast right now, if he can get here, he's straight. But because I'm the head of the family, you see what I'm saying? That's a different level of like pressure. It's a different level of extremism, bro, that you gotta move with, knowing that if I slip,
everything crumble.
Everything is gone.
Yeah, everything crumble.
And so, bro, that's another reason I'm by myself. I don't think it holds me back. I do think that I've recognized that, cause I'm only. But here's where I fucked up in the street, and we probably ain't gonna keep this in, but I you know, bits and pieces that might be game for the youngsters or something. We pour it out, you know, cause we ain't officially started. But where I fucked up in the street was, I got so far in to where I caught myself meeting that dude he's so. These was.
Ooh.
So I'm paying.
Gracious.
Yeah, you know, so I'm paying. He might have been doing. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm gonna be okay, regardless. You know, I'm trying to get him to. He sold me the motherfucker and tried to disappear. They got a store called. I'm in there with my old lady. Guess who walk in? The nigga that sold me the. It's probably 3-4 days. I've been calling him. He ain't said nothing. He don't know. See, cause I'm by myself. This is what's dangerous about being by yourself. They don't know what I'm doing. So when he done that to me, he don't know my reach. So he don't know I done found out he got a little shop over here. He got this. So I'm creeping down through. I done found him. That's his car. That's his shop. So now I'm laying on him. But just got lucky and saw him in the clothing store. I beat the out of him. I tried to in front of them people. And I was already then. And that's when I told myself, you in too deep, bro. You gotta go. Houses and shit. I'm in here about some money. They got cameras, but they hood, nigga. It's like a hood nigga store. You know, they know they taxing us 3-4 times the amount. We street niggas dumb and stupid. You know what I'm saying? So they playing on us, so they let certain shit go. They didn't call the police or nothing. But that nigga met me after that with his family in the car and gave me my money back. And when he gave me my money back, I said, I'm done, right? And again, I'm only moving, bro. They start bringing me getting too, y'all gonna send me away forever. I'm too smart and talented for that. I'll be a fool in jail.
Right.
You know, I'll be running to jail. Them niggas gonna say, man, if he was out, it'll be that vibe. Right. I can't go doing that. But these niggas around here, man, they were popping up with all kind of shit because they knowing, bro, if you can get you can turn that to That's literally how my homeboys was coming at me. I'm saying, I'm not doing that. I ain't killing nobody. I got these folks might die, and they might be in there telling on me who all got them and who saying they like that shit sent me off, bro. Yeah. And I'm way out there. Yeah. I said, bro, you got to pull back. You way too swift for that. Yeah. You know, and at that time is when I started to just pardon every day. Not every day, but once a week I drop a part and I'm fucking with shit every day. Like me now. I got this on, I'm high consumption. That's a book. I'm always into something, taking in some information. Yeah. Because people depend on us to say something.
Motivating
so,
all the way.
Yeah, so I gotta be high consumption or you'll burn out.
Hello to all the visionaries, innovators, and game changers out there. If you have a business, product, or brand that's waiting for its moment in the spotlight, then this message is for you. Introducing It's Up There, formerly known as a podcast, now transitioning into a show that's all about amplifying your message and propelling your brand to new heights. Why stay in the shadows when you can be on a platform that celebrates brilliance, innovation, and passion? It's Up There is your golden ticket to reaching an engaged and enthusiastic audience. Your brand deserves the spotlight, and we're here to help you shine. Listen to what some of the biggest names have said about our platform.
Why don't you come out and talk a lot?
I don't like talking. I like handpicked to talk to you. I just like how you be kicking and shit. I don't like talking.
Shut out.
I keep telling you that Joe Rogan. You the black. I don't even want to say black Joe Rogan because I feel like I put you in a box.
No, I'm high level game. I'm high level game. I'm putting game down. Ain't no disrespect. We figuring business out.
Right to it.
And if you niggas legacy ain't right, we gotta tell the kids how to get it right.
Yeah.
That's what this whole shit is about.
Ain't did nothing wrong. I'm gonna get to you. Yeah, you too hard. He hard.
But man, just to see how you moving, I see our production, but I see how you getting it from the mud.
Contact us now and be a part of the It's Up There journey. Why stay on the ground when you can be up there? Like way up there. With It's Up There, tap in. Get your ad in front of real people right here. Email for details. Let's get back to the show.
But see, like, even just hearing you talk now, like, from my perspective, being over there is something that, you know, you got to develop a different level of muscle for. Right. It take a different level of skill. And I personally think, I always hear niggas say that the industry like the streets. I disagree. They ain't like no streets I ever been in.
Nah.
So you try to take that mentality and adjust to what you doing now, it clouds the ability for you to be able to really make the full impact on this side because you still kind of got the mentality and you running into people who pretending to be what you really are. And it's easy to be tricked when you putting that truth mixed in with the bullshit. Right. You know what I mean? Them baller costumes, them real nigga costumes come in all shapes and sizes. Ooh-wee. So you can get tricked easily into thinking that, okay, this is the environment that I need to be in because this nigga talking like I'm talking. He moving like I'm moving.
You talking.
And then you end up getting tricked in a position that you go and do some shit over here like you did in that shop, and now it's 10 times worse because you going to jail and a nigga suing you and your image fucked up. So it's like you got to be able to separate yourself in a way. And what you do now, just for me, I'm a fan of, you know, I just consume a lot of media, like, and it's very rare that motherfuckers are able to keep my attention because I'm always consuming shit too. I'm an information junkie. But listening to you talk, you can tell that whatever it is you talking about, you passionate about, and you not just talking. You got an ability to be able to, you done did some type of personal research about the subject matter that you speaking on, and that's more valuable than anything now because there's so many niggas out here just putting a microphone in front of their face. being emotional.
Yes.
And that's very difficult to be able to, separate now because people is just gravitating to anything because the TV is obsolete now. It's all digital media.
Yeah, it's all on the phone.
So you being able to get to this point, like you said, you in a podcaster's dream now. You think about this the way I always put shit in perspective for myself, like what makes me be not even content, but what makes me understand the progression that I've made and am making in this game and my career, all that. The problems that I have now would have been the solution to every problem I had 10 years ago.
That's dope.
Anything I'm going through now, the shit I can complain about now, the shit I'm worried about now, 10 years ago, I'd have been begging for this shit. And now I look at it as, oh man, I gotta buy $4,000 worth of flights for these niggas because they ain't called me. But nigga, 10 years ago, 4 racks is like, bro, where you need me to meet you at?
Just get the flights for me.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So that's what the way I would say, put it in perspective, that position that you was in when you had to do that. If somebody right before that nigga walked into that shop, if a nigga would have popped out and been like, hey, bro, before you do that, let me give you a glimpse of what it's gonna look like for you from this move. Would you even have gave a fuck about whooping that nigga ass like that? So you gotta keep that in perspective.
For sure.
And I understand what you're saying about it making sense because it's difficult. That's one of the things that's difficult when you really come from it.
And I'm all in on this shit, right? It's just, and I think my business partners know that, right? Because you can see my output is high. I'm always working. Right. You can see I'm all in, but I'm confused a little bit. They've captured my understanding, right? The farther I went up, it's like, and even in this game, bro, when my voice is powerful, and I'm starting to learn that because I penetrate certain kind of men, right? Some of y'all talking to boys. I'm talking to men. You see what I'm saying? I penetrate, so I'm starting to learn like, hey, people act like your allies. This is a very unique position to be in when you have masked yourself, when you've put this mask on to look like an ally. You talk like an ally, but you competition.
Yeah,
and
secret competition. That's the unfortunate part about this game. I agree.
And your relationship with me is trying to muzzle me because you know I peep game and you running game. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's like they know I'm a free voice. This is another problem with me because I've understood now you don't give a person you love or you in business with, you don't give them a look, you give them legs. Y'all like your toy, it need legs. I don't need you to let me pop out on one show. That don't really do me nothing.
Yeah.
Dig what I'm saying? That's really for the crowd. But I'm talking about you really want to fuck with me, give me some legs. Give me some room. How many we doing? What we making?
Right.
People are in position to get you money, but they not doing it. And I'm recognizing that it's opportunities that I'm not getting, and I don't understand why. But I'm not emotional about it. I'm still in Bluetooth mode. Because I got to see why before I say something. Because there's a reason for everything. And there's a process to everything. And there's a technique to everything. So right now, I'm working on my technique to get in the process. Because something is missing with certain opportunities. They try to box me into some street talking guy. And I'm saying, you ain't listening. Because if you listen to me, I talk business. I talk information. I talk like, yo, when we look at this what I see, what y'all see. What I think about that is this. This is why I think that. This is why I don't think what they saying is true, because this is what I see when I look at it. That's literally my game. And then they'll box that some kind of way because of my look and my charisma.
But that's the thing, like you don't, being on the other side of it for the amount of time that I have, man, it's so many different channels that them opportunities have to go through. And you don't understand that. As if I'm a fan of Loon and I walk into a room and I say, hey, man, I got this guy, man, you got to check him out. He in Nashville. I'm vouching for him. All right, cool. I tell that to whoever it is that my contact is, and then they have to go to who they contact is, and then they have to go to who they contact is. And who knows by the time that the word gets to the person who really making a decision what the message is. Because as you go higher up on those chains, those people are trying to guard those opportunities for themselves and they people. And it's just the way that it works. So you got to be able to do what you doing, like, and being able to have your own voice and sit still and say, I'm just gonna do this the way I'm doing it. It's only so long they're gonna be able to box you in, because the cream rise to the top.
Sure,
like that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be inevitable. But you just gotta have that patience to be able to see. Like I can't tell you how many times throughout my career thus far that I've seen shit and I just be like,
yeah.
But what make me understand how it go is, you know what? I'm playing the long game. You know what I mean? This about the long game. That same opportunity, the Etch-a-Sketch was the iPad. That's the way it worked for me.
Right.
At one point, the Etch-a-Sketch was the iPad.
Facts.
But them motherfuckers who was fumbling and fighting over the Etch-a-Sketch, they probably ain't get to the point where they got to really benefit from the iPad, because they was all in right then.
Right.
You got to play the long game. It's about being able to look up and be doing this shit for 20 years. And any opportunity that you miss in this moment ain't gonna mean shit to you, because motherfuckers ain't gonna be worried about that.
But here's why I tie it in, because I'm always in a position to understand. I've came in this game. This ain't an assist. This is a creative shot.
Got you.
So I'm saying, niggas, and it looked like an assist because there's so many people involved in some of the biggest names, but this a creative shot. These boys will tell you, boy created his own shot. We just fuck with his vibration and he wanted them in. But this a creative shot. So I'm always, now to wrap around the opportunity thing to the ally thing. A lot of people mass ally and they wrap opportunity around that. So it's talking opportunity and it looked like an ally, but it doesn't materialize. And I'm trying to figure out, is that a muzzle? Is that an industry trick? Because it feels like it's something, bro. And like again, I'm still trying to digest.
You from the street, so you know how it goes. Sometimes a nigga just want to get up on you to see how they can see what you really got going on, to be able to come in and scope your environment out, just to be able to judge you and go back and be like, I ain't got to worry about that nigga. He in this spot. We got this. They just want to see it, and that's the only way they know they can get up on you is in a friendly manner. They don't, that's one of the things that I always kept. Don't all that friendly shit, my nigga. If you super friendly, my nigga, what is it that's making you want to be so and tied in and fucking with me like that? What's your angle?
Right. And
automatically.
Then it's like for me, I'm saying, you if you know me and you hear me and you everybody feels me that hear my voice say, that nigga sound like he sound like one of them men. Like you see. So you gotta know I'm running from the street, man. You see what I'm saying? And if you saying you fuck with me, you got to know I'm literally my right-hand man facing a life sentence right now. He go to trial in maybe another 2 weeks or something. You see what I'm saying? Like we talking, so I think I have a level of paranoia because I cannot go back. I done blew my face up. The whole operation is different now.
Correct.
Right? It's like you done fucked it up. It's no going back, bro.
Nah, they gonna,
So now I'm paranoid because they got me in this weird spot, right? Where it's like no longer in the streets, but the industry has things surrounding. I know y'all go through this fight, right? When it's like, because I would say I'm a fan of comedy, I'm a fan of information, I'm a fan of the business. So when I look at Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer, people like that, that's no different than 85 South to me. You see what I'm saying? Just the white version. They doing the white thing. 2 bears, 1 cave. They doing the white thing. That's literally the black AS. Literally, but for me, when I say it's so much more, because of the privilege attached to it, it's so much more circumstance surrounding it that y'all got to work twice as hard to get wrapped around y'all.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it go, because they not, what I've learned in regards to the way that people are marketed to, right? That's the middle of America. That's it. East and the West Coast, they ain't really worried about that. Those are the hubs. Those are where all the culture come out of and all of that type of shit. But that middle part of America, like who can they put in front of people that'll sit down with their family or sit down and they feel safe watching, and these are the people who they gonna put the money behind. Now you got to be able to find a way as us as black men, we got to be able to find a way, if we want to tackle that type of, monument, if you will, or that mountain, we got to find a way to be able to stay true to who made us while still being able to be palatable to people who know nothing about us.
How do we do that?
That's a good question.
That's a hell of a
good
thing.
question.
Because they've already been programmed to be scared of us.
Yes, exactly. So you got to.
No matter what I say, my look gives off a certain aura.
I tell you, somebody who has done it, Nick.
Fire.
Nick has done it in a way that.
How did he do it though? Let's examine it.
Because he embraced, in my opinion, he embraced the shit on our side that people say about him that is looked at
so
negatively.
He sacrificed.
That
he sacrificed that side to appeal to that.
He can't do this, he can't do that. Okay, cool, I take that. But when I go over here and these motherfuckers look at me and they see I'm safe, I know who I really am. I know what I really am. I know what I really come from. But my ability to be able to step over here and get this type of check and this type of money is because I'm not trying to prove you wrong over here that I'm not the nigga that you think I am.
Right.
The nigga that you think I am, you ain't cool.
See, that's the trick bag. When I prove to you I'm not him, I eliminate them.
I prove
that's the
to
trick
them
bag.
that I'm exactly
who they thought I was.
And who they thought I was. And that's
because in the program is still though, I'm like, yo, I know black people that look like me that's harmless. You know what I'm saying? That literally
and I know
been
niggas
smacked.
that look like
I know niggas with tattoos and shit that been smacked.
Listen.
So
I'm telling you, bro.
White America, y'all don't see that side of it?
No, they can't. It's impossible because they don't have to have the connection that we have to like you said, you just was saying about you being the biggest, right? You being on top of the game. How many yous have you known? It's maybe one a nigga like you every 20 years.
Right.
They get to that level.
Right, yeah.
It ain't that many. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that many of you. So everybody else is really a subset of what you have been. So that level of responsibility, they could never have to get to that, because when you think about somebody that come from that type of environment, if I make it out of where I come from, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, I'm the only nigga that ever do anything remotely close to that. In my whole family, my whole community, ever. Them folks, that's not the way they operate.
Right.
If a motherfucker become a doctor or lawyer or anything, they the 3rd, 4th lawyer in their family.
Right.
You got people like you and I who have building a whole legacy from scratch, and you finally get to the point where you feel like you made it, and you stand next to a motherfucker who pulled teeth.
Yeah. Yeah.
This nigga is a regular he pulled teeth dentist.
Yeah.
So you think about that dichotomy of how much separation that is for you to
do
be
all
able to
that
build,
you've done.
to build a whole legacy of the first person in your family to make it out the streets, to dodge a federal sentence, to dodge these hating niggas, to dodge the bitches, to dodge all of that, get to this point of success, and you living next door to a motherfucker who's a chiropractor.
Ain't that a bitch?
So that's the difference. That's why they can never understand.
And then but here's the great part about that. The silver lining in that is that if I survive, right? In the event I survive that, you can't fuck with me on the other side. If I could just make it to the other side, you boys can't do nothing with me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because hard time create that.
I think that's the biggest thing for me though, Loon, is being able to identify what the other side is for you specifically, because it changed for everybody. Like, my mother passed in 2021 from COVID, right? And,
sorry to hear that, brother.
And she just was a different type of woman. Like, she just had, one of them ones that was just, I gotta work.
Right.
Like, I'm talking about,
like
I can't stop.
Yeah,
it don't matter what you doing or what you giving me. I appreciate it, baby, but I gotta take care of my baby. I couldn't. It was just something. And as I'm a man to the world, but I'm a baby to her forever. This is my mama.
Facts.
So when she passed, going through the information and getting all her information, when I saw what my mama made a year at her job, it made me realize, okay, I need to change my perception of what success is, because success to me was always based around what I could do to better everybody else's situation because, you know, I'm me. I done always been somebody. I ain't never been a nigga that ain't nobody ever picked on me.
Right,
Or
type thing,
I done always been somebody.
Yeah.
You go anywhere I come from, ask about me. Ain't nobody gonna be like, nigga, he was.
Yeah.
They gonna tell you. So
Yeah.
that was always established.
Right.
That was just a level of blessing that God gave me.
Right.
But my success was always, man, I can go and, you know, remove the stress level from my people. But once I saw what she was doing, irregardless of what I had going on, it made me know, man, I done won 10 times over already. So I need to understand and embrace the fact that I done already beat the game. I'm in extra man mode now. So everything that come, and it's so much that I don't do, Loon. Like, I'm me. I'm militant in my perspective.
Right.
I don't fuck with none of the shit I don't fuck with, and I do the shit that I fuck with all the time. I don't compromise myself to make anybody else feel comfortable.
Right.
God bless you, do your thing. I'm over here with it.
Right.
So once I realized that I had that level of discipline within
Right.
myself already, it took me losing my mother to make me realize the level of discipline that I already had, because I was always so, you know, just gratified by her seeing me and being happy about the success that she saw me have. But once she left here, I realized, okay, man, this woman, my whole life done been getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work. If I woke up as a little boy and my mama was home, something was wrong.
Exactly.
She done did that my whole life up until she passed away. She caught COVID at work. So for her to still be going out every single day for what I can make in 20 minutes.
Right. Right.
What the
You
fuck
don't
am I
want-
complaining about?
You see, because success has a weird way of confusing you. Like, the more you go up, the more you want. And it's a natural thing.
And that's true, and that's what I had to check myself on, because I tell people that all the time. The higher you climb, the better view you get of what you couldn't see when you was on the bottom level. But here's the fucked up part about the game. No matter where you at, it's always somebody with their hand on your ankle trying to pull you down and their foot on your shoulder trying to keep you where you at. So navigating that is what I think makes you say, man, fuck that, I gotta get to the...
Right.
But when you really think about the success that you've achieved, like, my nigga, just hearing you talk now, because I didn't know the in-depth nature of your story. Like I said, we ain't even got started yet. But like, to see where you have navigated through, my nigga, like, man, my father got killed, my Uncle Reggie got killed. These are like my role models. These are the niggas I wanted to be like, and they didn't get the opportunity to make it to where you at right now. Like, you remind me of that style of nigga, because I'm that style of nigga.
Right.
So to think about what he would have been able to do if he was still here, to be able to sit in front of a microphone, my nigga, you doing it.
Yeah.
You doing
that's
it, Slim.
That's what I appreciate. But I'm lost in it, bro. I done got so far in it, I'm lost. Right? Meaning that, like, I don't even celebrate this shit. Like, I be doing big shit. I be getting big phone calls. That shit don't do nothing. Because it's like my idea is attached to something that I maybe never can ever grab onto.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like an unrealistic view of it.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but just the you know, the moments in between, you got to check yourself.
Yeah.
Because it ain't nothing wrong with having that perspective. Like, for me, that's why I don't answer the question, where you see yourself in 5 years.
Right.
Because if you'd have asked me that 10 years ago, I wouldn't have named half the shit I've done already.
Right.
So I'm leaving that up to God. But what I can tell you is, every day I wake up and I'm breathing air and able to get up, I'm going to get it every day.
It don't matter what the time
Every
is.
single day,
Yes,
I
sir.
get to get up and go get it. And whatever come with that is mine.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, like, when they ask me about certain shit, like, you know, I don't go to the club, I don't do no
Me
partying
neither.
and none of
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
I ain't drinking. Man,
Right.
you can have all of that.
Right.
And niggas be like, bruh, like, you know, when niggas that I fuck with and get around, I can tell the difference in mentality from the questions that they
Right.
ask me about what it is that I do.
Yes.
When they get around me, they don't ask me about the shit that I would ask if I
Right.
had a nigga in my
Yes.
position around me. First thing they want to know, man, what you be fucking them bitches,
Yeah,
don't you,
come
nigga?
on,
You be
man.
doing, and I understand it. I
Yeah,
get it.
I don't. I have
do.
no time for it.
I get
I
it.
don't entertain it because I'm too valuable to the culture. My voice right now, it can't even be used for that. Unfortunately, though, right? Because, and then, bro, these people will tell you in real life, man, like, when they come at me with certain shit, I got to shut that down. I'm high frequency right now, man. But see, that's what I like about comics, is that you could be high frequency, but operate over in the mud and it don't affect the frequency.
Yeah.
I'm over here just pulling information, but I'm always over there.
Right.
And that's what I love about comics. But for me, it's dangerous flirting with that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because whatever I'm on, it ain't no back and forth switch.
Right, exactly.
I'm all in on that or I'm all in on this.
Right.
And to stay on this, I gotta shun that. That's why I don't be having the bandwidth for the
But you got to develop some of that though, Loon. Like not to the extent where you compromise your moral, character of who you are, but just being able to like adjust in a way to where the conversation doesn't make you somebody that motherfuckers are scared to have a conversation with.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of people who are never gonna understand your perception and perspective because they can't. It's just impossible for them to do. But your ability to be able to separate yourself, to be able to communicate with somebody on a level to where it might be something that you like, man, I really don't even be entertaining none of this shit. But just the conversation lets you know that, look, if you got something that's of value to me, it's the barter system. I look at it like that. Like if you got something that's of value and you see something that I have that's of value, we can at least have a conversation about it. But I don't have to engage you in your environment in order for us to have this conversation.
Now this is I'm speaking about personally. Now professionally.
Oh well, personally that's different.
And that's what I'm speaking. Now
I'm
professionally, we have to create content.
Yeah.
So we get into weird spots with the conversation and funny spots, and it's all kind of shit happening with the conversation. So professionally, but I'm saying personally,
Personally, yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, personally, people will push up on you and have those kind of questions where it's like, man, man, about the bitches.
But you gotta understand that day to day is consumed with your day to day, but not in the act of actually being a part of it,
watching it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you think about like one of the most amazing things about my life at this point is the shit that I get to see in real time. Like everybody dream when they sleep. Though most motherfuckers don't never get to dream when they're awake.
Right.
So the type of interactions that I have
high level
with people that I,
Respect.
used to watch
Yes.
there was a whole nother world to me. Like Martin Lawrence, for example.
Shout out him.
Like one of the dopest moments that I done had ever. Me and my daughter, we riding. That's my partner, so that's who I kick it with.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
You know what I mean? So we riding, and I'm her daddy. So I'm cool, but I'm daddy cool at this point. Like she like, nigga, I know what you do, but you my daddy.
Yeah.
But Martin called me when we was in the car, and she looked and when I answered the phone, we just had a general conversation. He was just calling to check on me. And then after I hung the phone up, she was like, was that Martin Lawrence? I was like, yeah. She was like, man, daddy. I'm like, yeah, your daddy a hell of a nigga.
Yeah.
And that's moment because for her to understand who that was is solely based on who he is to me and how I've transferred that information down to her. She didn't grow up watching Martin.
Right.
She watched it with me. But she saw the passion that I had watching it. And for me to be able to have that type of interaction is what counts as success to me. But the people who are separated from me in a sense, if they were in the car with me when we had that conversation, I know their line of questioning would have been totally different. Because nigga, like bro, call that nigga back. Ask that nigga back in.
Right.
Man, let me see if I can get.
Yeah.
And I can't be mad at them because if I would have been in that position when I was watching that nigga on that TV when I was a young nigga, my line of questioning probably would have been the same exact line of questioning. So you got to respect the fact that, bro, you didn't did some unworldly shit out here, Slim. Like I said, I'm tapped in. Like ever since I saw the first podcast I saw you do. Like you said, you talking to men, but the way that you express yourself and the clearness in the message that you giving, there is no fodder in it. It ain't no cut on it.
Right.
You giving uncut. So you gonna either feel the way you feel about it, and that's gonna be what it is. That is rare. You don't see too many people who do that unemotionally.
Right.
You see that a lot of niggas do it with emotion.
Yeah.
Hey man, fuck that. And I'm just
right.
It ain't none of that. This is a moral code and principle that I stand on. Bro, for you to be sitting here now with all the things that you've done, my nigga, you done beat the game 100 times.
Yeah.
So, but I understand where you coming from with the lostness because I had to go through that too. I remind myself, like my therapy is 97% of the time after I do shows, man, I get in the car ride around, listen to music, talk to myself. That's my meditation.
Yeah.
Because I gotta keep my mind clear of the shit that, ain't no such thing as a negative thought in my opinion.
Right.
You can't control that. It's
Right.
only negative when you put actions and let it come out your mouth. That's when it becomes negative. So me, I try to control that as much as I can, and I dedicate as much time to it as I can, because I get lost in it too sometimes, because I wonder, like, all right, man, like, I done been doing this for so long, and, in certain environments, you see the way they, treat people, and you see the way that they react to people that conduct themselves in a certain way, and you like, man, this is a person who couldn't stand next to me in no environment that I come from, yet in this environment where we're forced to be peers, I gotta watch some sucker shit.
It's very
get rewarded.
interesting. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's very
and it's like,
interesting.
man, like, is it
and
me?
then they've got smart with the ability to.
And we ain't in no rush either, nigga. I'm here, man.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
cool.
I ain't got nothing to do.
I think
You know
it's
what I
my
mean?
cameraman. We've been already smoking it though.
You know what I mean? Like, we good.
Man,
I
we
ain't in no
finna,
rush.
we finna go platinum. We finna have a great
baby,
conversation.
I ain't in no rush.
But I
made sure
already know
cleared
that's
it up.
why, and I want all the people just kick it with comedians.
Yeah.
Cause that's where all the perspective is.
I think a lot of that is just media shit too, man. Cause you get to see these motherfuckers like, one thing I know is you who you really are when ain't nobody looking.
Right.
But when everybody looking, these niggas turn on a certain
Right,
perspective
right,
to
right.
keep
Yeah,
themselves
yeah.
in the, you know what I mean? And a lot of motherfuckers is autistic out here, bro. That's the thing that niggas don't understand. Like, I did that type of work. Before I became a comedian full-time,
Right.
I worked in the mental health field because I done always had an infatuation with the human mind and how it
Right.
worked.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I done read the DSM, the Diagnostical Statistical Manual for Mental Disorder, DSM-5. I done read it 3-4 times over. And the crazy part about when you read it is when you go through it, all you doing is diagnosing yourself, because they got all of these mental disorders that are things that are considered mental disorders that people don't even know exist. But, like, for example, Asperger's, right? Asperger's syndrome is now put into the autistic, it's on the autism
What is
spectrum
Asperger?
now. Asperger's is a mental disability that's it makes you socially, like, what's the word? The somebody I can use as an example. Somebody that's socially dysfunctional, but brilliant in whatever it is that they do. Like, so somebody who can't have a conversation with you, but can get on stage and smoke it, or go in the studio and rap their ass off, but if you try to ask them to have a general conversation, they not going to be able to do it. That's Asperger's, but now they lumped it into the autism spectrum because autism is just major now. But the mental disabilities that a lot of these dudes have went unaddressed. And me being the type of person that I am, when I'm in a room and I see it, I can notice it because it was my job to be able to diagnose these different types of characteristics and things in motherfuckers. And you can see that a lot of niggas that know the type of information that I know is taking advantage of these niggas, man.
Ooh, we gonna get into that.
You know what I mean? They're taking advantage of these
That's
niggas.
my cameraman. I'm finna go. You smoke?
Yeah, but we can get to that after. Yeah,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Do your thing.
My camera nigga here, man.
Like, it's a 3-week process. We come in.
For the whole season?
For the whole season.
We finna get to that.
So it's 3 weeks. So we come in, it's a week of running through with all the new people. In the next 2 weeks, we shooting 3 episodes a day every day. So that's the whole process.
So y'all, yeah.
So, but you think you got
Come on, let's go.
all these people in here. A lot of these people, this is the only time they working this year. Is when this come back.
3 weeks.
Is that 3 weeks. So you think about the intensity that a person is going to have about their job when it's the only job that they work. They got a different type of mentality, so they super duper. Hey man, come stand over here, stand over here, stand over here, stand over here. You like my nigga, I'm grown, I know where to stand at.
Yes, sir.
But I
And I've
can't
been
be
doing
mad
it.
at you for
'Cause
doing
you
it
got
because
that-
you got to make sure that this 3 weeks is going to lead to another 3 weeks.
Yeah. But see, here's the key. That's cool because I'm being paid. If you waste this time, bother me, whatever, I'm creating a shot. Again, you got your hand in my face.
Yeah.
This ain't the same thing because we pay for all of this. Now we on MTV set and they got individuals there.
Right.
I got to work. I'm a great partner. I got to work with my partnership.
But see, that's the thing where I was just talking about what you just said, the learning part of it. when you learning and watching how it works.
Shut that door too, man.
How it works when you are just, you know, an employee, if you will.
Right.
But still having the understanding to be able to sit there and look around and see, all right, how the cameraman, what the boom mic man do, and what the producer do, what's this person's job, and what's this person's job. So when you create your own shot, you know.
Right.
So when you create your own shot, you know. Put your elbows in now.
Exactly.
Nigga. That's what was fucking
yeah,
you up.
Yeah, and that's what I've been doing. And
you
that's the whole
saying?
point I'm making. But when it's time for me to create my shot, I now come from off the court and turn into Phil Jackson.
Right.
I got to have the right people on the court with me.
Right.
So we can run the game plan.
Right.
So when I see a dude on the court with me on my team and we running isolation and he bringing the defender over here by me.
Yeah.
We got to check him out the game.
Yeah.
Ain't no disrespect on this, but we going for the championship.
Right.
You got to think, brother, I'm competing with the biggest podcast in the world without a co-host.
Yeah.
It ain't many people that's living in that spot that's even be able to sit with Chico and Charlemagne and Lil Baby and Raw Wave and whoever else I've been. We talking one man, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm saying without a publicist, you come in, you don't see a manager, a publicist, my camera guy just got here. Like, this is a dude creating a shot. Mm-hmm. So it's important that I understand I'm no longer the point guard, I'm the coach now.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? When I go work with MTV, I'm the point guard. Mm-hmm. So they done called a play to put a nigga over here in the isolation that kind of fucking up the play. But this day championship.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't say nothing about it. Y'all want me to get them the ball or what y'all want me to do? Because this y'all team. But when it's time for you to shoot your shit, when it's time for you to do your thing, you ain't gonna have that same person tedious next to you like that because for you it's unnecessary. For them it's necessary.
Right.
They checking boxes that you ain't checking.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. I have to go from, all right, we ain't in Black Effect. We ain't doing the Black Effect shit where they got somebody next to me and we in my shit. Mm-hmm. Now I got somebody that may be slowing me down, that may be interfering. We should have been done 30, 40, 50 minutes ago.
Right.
What we doing? Talking. Why I'm looking at pictures?
Yeah.
What I'm doing looking at a nigga show reel and all this here when I got a guest coming that we need to put everything we got right now into making sure these shots is clear because I'm going to handle the conversation. We need to we don't got notes or nothing. We just kick shit.
Right.
This everything I do, I freestyle the entire time. So when the niggas, I think that's what it is. That's the difference.
I just was about to say, you took that thought right out of my mind. That right there is the golden ticket to what it is that you doing. Like you think about, you know, going to school and all of that. Like when you in school, structured, everything's structured. You come in, the bell ring, you leave on the bell, you do this, you do that. But what really makes you who you are is your ability to be able to operate around all of that. And without any of the structure, how well do you do? You know what I mean? Can you show up without knowing that they get ready to give a quiz, sit down and ace this bitch? Ooh. And that's what causes most of the people to be able to be like, how you do that? But the fact that you can do that and you've been doing that, you don't have to operate under the same parameters. You competing because that's just who you are.
Right.
But I'm telling you from somebody who is in it and does it and been around it, my nigga, your ability to be able to do what you doing, you not competing. They really scared of you. They terrified because a lot of them need that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people around to be able to remind them of what they gotta say or go 5, 6, 7 takes to be able to get one conversational aspect out. You ain't gotta do none of that.
Right.
So if you show up, you gotta understand it's like putting a product next to a product. If you got love for certain people, it's certain people that I've made sure that I didn't do shit with just to not water down what people think is a hell of a product. Because if I know if I show up and do what it is that I do, then it's gonna make people realize that what you doing ain't what they think it is. And I got too much love for you to do that to you. But in the same token, if you got the ability to come over here and bring them people who fuck with you to see me, don't hesitate, because then you forcing me to come over here and show motherfuckers that we doing that, but it's different.
Yeah.
And that's the part of the ally versus the that's
and
the
I
difference.
I see, you know, I'm high level, so I watch them, and as much as I know, right? Because knowing is participation, right? So I know that they afraid. You see what I'm saying? I'm in rooms, bro. I'm in rooms they don't know I'm in. I'm connected to people they don't know I'm connected to, so certain conversations is getting back to me. You know, niggas is just throwing me at loops. Hey, man, that's, you know, I just want you to know, you know, that they made a call and they might have said X, Y, and Z, you know? And so for me, I just look at it and say, everybody, you know what's interesting, bro? Everybody I sit with say that. Every single, I just sat with Big Bank last week. He said the exact same thing. Loon, you not competing with these niggas. You authentic. All you got to do is stay
ain't
authentic.
No competition, man.
They can't fuck with that.
That's one thing that I always am, you know, what you said earlier about the secret competition, that's something I've been suffering from my whole life, because motherfuckers are, you know, they love to be in competition with me and everybody know but me. So I done had to learn how to navigate that, because it's very difficult to be able, now if we competing, don't do me the disservice of not letting me know.
Right.
Don't be a teammate when I'm in front of you, but as soon as I leave, you trying to cut my legs off, you know what I mean? But to be able to have to navigate that is just lets you know that motherfuckers want to compete with you, but they don't, because they know the competition is going to cause them to have to operate in a way that they don't naturally operate in. And you don't know when you in competition when that competition is going to show up. It's just like, you know, you've been in the streets. You know, if it's on, it's on.
Yeah.
Like,
on
the
site,
unfortunate part, if me and you is the two niggas from my neighborhood that's knocking everything out, whoever we bring with us is just the benefits of us being two hell of a niggas.
Right.
Until we run into some other niggas that's hell of a niggas. Now we gonna get exposed, because these niggas ain't never had to do nothing. They done been living off what it is that I do and my ability to be able to do shit. So when the real competition show up, now you get exposed, because you ain't never been in front of nobody who got the same level of skill set or greater skill set than you have. So once you realize that, you do everything that you can to make sure that you can be in the presence of those people, but never had to really compete with them. So I wouldn't even put you in the competition.
That's some fucking good game.
I mean, I wouldn't be in the bracket of competition, because first of all, we've learned, and just doing the 85 South show, motherfuckers love to act like they don't see what we doing.
Right.
They love to act like they don't see us until they see us.
Right.
When they see us, it's different.
Right.
But when they don't see us, they act like we don't exist. And that's cool with us.
That's hard to navigate though, man.
Not for us, it's not, because we understand, and just doing that as a group, we doing some shit that ain't nobody ever did before. Like, we done been blessed to be around all of the OGs in the game that came before us, that we grew up watching, and we done had them tell us out their own mouths, what y'all doing I didn't think was possible to do. I mean, from the kings of comedy, all of them, man. If we'd have did what y'all did, nigga, that's a whole nother movie.
Yeah.
So we already know that. So if that's established from the people who have laid the foundation for us to walk behind them, anybody who acts like they don't see it, that's cool. We ain't worried about that, because when we show up to these places and these people
that
come,
need to know.
These people that come and embrace us and tell us how much they love what we doing and how much they appreciate and how much shit we done got them through, man. You know how many niggas you help every day that you will never see, that you will never get to talk to. And these is a different type of person. Like, these are different type of men that you tapping into. It's certain motherfuckers that's just not going to they not going to subscribe to certain shit. It's just not in them to do. So they fiending for something to be a part of, because you know feeling left out is one of the most difficult things to feel as a human being. Is when you hear everybody talking about all these podcasts, and then you go look at them and then it don't identify with you. You just searching for something to be able to show up to the conversation with and be like, man, y'all heard of this nigga? And you that nigga for so many people. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
so it's
that,
like,
bro.
A lot of motherfuckers, and I'm talking from experience. Like, I know different type of people in regards to day-to-day niggas, if you will. Like niggas. Like, it's a difference. And I done had niggas come up to me and tell me, man, why you wasn't on the podcast when Loon came, man? You should have been there, man. That nigga. And I'm like, oh, niggas fucking with that nigga. That's how I developed the understanding of who you were from the people. And we was just outside. You see how I interact with the people. I always show love to the people because this is who makes us who we are. And I know that with that little handshake and that nigga get ready to go tell 20 motherfuckers who he ran into.
I
today.
just brightened his day. If home was having a bad day,
Right.
that literally just switched something for him.
Right. So that's what I judge my that's what my gauge is on what is going on out here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's certain people. I respect everybody who done took the leap of
Right.
faith and trying to do what they do. I ain't got no negative to say about nobody, especially not in they, in their absence. If I
Right.
got something I want to talk to you about, I'm gonna wait till we in each other's energy to be able to have that conversation.
Yeah.
But as far as the people that come up to me and the shit that they tell me they fucking with, they fucking with what you got going on, and that's a certain environment. And I'm specifically talking about places that I go that most people don't go. You know what I
Right,
mean? And most
yeah.
people don't have access
That's
to.
what I'm saying, bro. And I'm telling you, like, I tell niggas that's why these conversations are important. And bro, whenever you get a chance, these shots right here, make sure that they all good. You hear me? Like that one. Just make sure we all good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's this middle one right here. I might not even be in that motherfucker.
Yeah, you got the side,
Yeah, this one right
the
here.
side one right there.
That one right here. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah, you take care of that. Yeah. But yeah, this game, man, this game here, this content creation game, the secret competition, I was telling somebody that, and I know we're in a place where relationships can materialize. Like, I'm cool with P now. So you gotta know I'm around where I see that a nigga can literally make a call and be like, boom, bam. I had Lil Baby roll out interview when my podcast was like, I was a nigga with no guests. Just a nigga doing podcasts, but I talk to them kind of people. So I'm just a nigga doing podcasts somewhat by myself and get Lil Baby roll out interview when he ain't talked in 2 years. You see what I'm saying? That's off a phone call, bro. At the moment, he could have got 50 racks for that. 100 racks to go sit somewhere. Dude got some millions of dollars for the Amazon thing. I'm telling you, knowing his participation. So I was there when they was talking about it. So I'm telling you, so it was money involved in that move, and they disregarded the money. Get at the Loon. Let's make sure Loon is the first interview Baby do. You know what I'm saying? And they can't do that without Baby. Baby don't take orders. You see what I'm saying? But P and Baby, they like this, so it's a relation. So it's just like, I'm saying that I'm noticing, because I'm connected to Coach K, because I'm connected to QCP, I can see that a phone call can change things. And you run into certain things where it's like, is this relationship something? Like, is this something, or what is this? Like, what are we doing? Like, there's something happening, man. I don't know. Like I'm saying, I haven't spoke on it because I'm still digesting it. I'm still trying to really, and it's gonna take time because it has to materialize before I can judge it. You know what I'm saying? Anything before that, I'm wrong, even if I'm right.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm trying to let things materialize just to see, yo, this game is wicked.
Yeah.
I'm thinking these nigga dumb, but they high level. It's high level game in this.
Yo, yeah, all the way.
It's some high level tricks being played. Like, if you ain't paying attention,
If you ain't paying attention, for sure.
Yeah,
you know what
so
I mean? And that's important to be able to recognize. But you doing it by yourself is something that is a blessing. But after a certain point, you gotta have somebody who's able to take that vantage point that you can't take. That's the thing about getting into the position that you in now with having to face. Like, I only see who in my vision, but everybody see you. Everybody can see you. You know what I mean? They looking at you from on top of the balcony. They looking at you from over here. So all of these different vantage points are seeing you do what it is that you doing. You need somebody else that's gonna look in them directions to be able to say, hey, that ain't somebody that I need to talk to, or that ain't somebody that I need to deal with. You know what I mean? And I done been blessed to have people in my life, you know what I'm saying, that
How did
play
you
that
find
role.
them?
Man, just the grace of God. Like,
Is
my
it
manager.
time though? Did you have some prior to them, or
no,
this,
not in the industry.
So you
capacity.
ran into the first person and that been locked in. That's
like,
luck, man.
For real.
Special.
Like, I take that back. Dolly Bishop.
Yep.
That's I'm talking about.
That's my
do
baby.
anything for. Like,
shout
we
out
went
Dolly.
to college together.
Okay,
So
shout out Dolly. Man,
when I got
didn't know
on
that.
Wild 'N Out, like, she was Nick's assistant.
I remember that she said that.
She was Nick Cannon's assistant. But, you know what I mean, we was already locked in. Like, my audition to get on Wild 'N Out, or my meeting of Nick Cannon, came through her vouching for me when she was just an assistant. But she done always been a respectable person. See, a lot of people see what she do and see how much of a leader and a boss she is and don't know where she really come from.
Right.
Like, she really from it for real. But you'll never know just in having a conversation with her.
Unless you have one of them conversations.
Unless you have one of them conversations with her. So,
you know she thorough, though. She one of them ones.
So, us being locked in and creating that opportunity for me at that time, and then me showing up and making the vouching that she did for me valid. That's something that I've always credited myself on. If you gonna be somebody, like I call it like the LeVar Ball effect. People always talk the shit about LeVar Ball and what he talk about his kids, but it's like, if you know that somebody a dog and they show up and be that, you don't have no problem with telling motherfuckers, all right, cool, wait till this person wait till they show up. I'm gonna show you. Yeah. And that's always been something I've prided myself on. And Dawg was one of the first people who stepped in and said, oh no, this nigga the one. I'm telling you, he the one. And before she had any type of position or even her own feet grounded in the game, she was willing to stand on that for me.
That's how you know when she see it. But see, that's what I'm saying. And also, I think that it becomes more and more expensive the higher you go to give those vouchers.
Yes, it is. It is.
You see what I'm saying? Because when you get that vouch and it fall through, now you went from 100% to 50%.
It's fucking up your record. You know what I'm saying? It fuck your record up. That's the realest shit ever. So, you know, for me, that's always been something that, you know what I mean, I always took pride in. Mind you, we both had nothing. I was catching the bus up to New York, the Chinese bus up to New York, like zero. So now at this point, that's somebody who is in the position that she's in, and I'm in the position I'm in. Right. So whenever it is that we come together and do anything, fireworks. It's all the way there, because we came from zero. I've watched her develop, and she was a producer on Wild 'N Out all them seasons and came up into the position that she in now. So that's one of the people when I say just a blessing. My manager, Natalia, Boss Lady Stroman, she is, I just tell you the story of how we met, right? So I'm doing a show at Southern University, a college show. Like, I got the show at TSU tomorrow, so that was one of my first, I say that's the first lick that I ever hit when I got on is doing college shows, because I went to a HBCU, so I just had that level of understanding to be able to speak to the people that sit in them chairs, because I was one of them ones sitting in them chairs. And this is my first time doing Southern though, so I go to the hotel. When I get to the hotel, I'm talking about, she come around the corner. Mind you, we never met before, don't know who she is from a hole in the wall. Big smile on her face, come around the corner. What's up, Chico? Nice to meet you. Here go your money. Now, this the first time I'd have never got paid before I did the show in my career at this point, especially for a college show. Usually college shows, how they work, Loon, is you do the show, it's a net 30, what they call a net 30, which I'm sure you're familiar with. Yes. So you gotta, sit around and wait for the money. So she came and handed me my money. I'm like, man, that's crazy. So that was just the first interaction that we had. So we riding from New Orleans. This was my first time in New Orleans. I had never been in New Orleans before, and just my background, it was certain places that I couldn't wait to get to, just because of the history that I had through the music and how influential the music has been on me throughout my life. So I'm in New Orleans dolo by myself, going to all the spots and doing all of that, thinking I'm doing all of that. So we ride to the show, I do the show go crazy. We talking after the show, right? And she say, you said it's your first time in New Orleans. I said, yeah. She said, you ever been to Bourbon Street? I'm like, what's Bourbon Street? She was like, oh, nigga, let's go. Our first time meeting. So she took me to Bourbon Street.
Soon that's love.
Just on the strength. But this the type of person she is, though. She just raw like that, and her energy so smooth that it made me realize, like, you know how you can feel it when you run into somebody that you like, all right, this somebody that got some substance to them. Right. So I felt that immediately. And we go to Bourbon Street. We out there running it, you know what I mean, just talking and shit. And we having a conversation about my, you know, who I am as a comedian. She had never seen me perform before, and she was like, I didn't even know you did comedy, because you know a lot of the Wild 'N Out motherfuckers thought a nigga was a rapper, and you never know in that space because you only see 17 minutes of what we creating.
Wow.
So she was like, I didn't know you was a comedian and you so good, and you know, who are some of your influences? And I'm like, you know, I'm from DC, so I'm like, man, my favorite comedian, Earthquake. And she was like, oh yeah, that's Dad. I'm like, yeah, I feel like that nigga my father too. She was like, no, nigga, that's my father. That's my real father. I'm like, man, what?
Wow.
Get the fuck out of here. And that was our first interaction. The odds of that, you know what I'm saying?
That's the
odds of that
universe.
happen. Yeah, so I'm just like, that's crazy. Fast forward, you know, probably like almost a year later, 6 months later, I'm going through some shit, and I know that in our conversation, she was saying that she was trying to get into managing on a certain level, and just talking to her, I seen the way her mind worked. So what I was going through, I didn't have any knowledge base on. So my mind immediately went, let me just call her and ask her if she'd be willing to take a look at this for me, just because I know that you on this side of the game.
Yeah.
And I was the first person to ever give her that opportunity. Of everybody that she's been around, I'm the first person that ever gave her the opportunity to trust with that level of responsibility in regards to, you know.
So she didn't even have any prior history?
No, she just was working with, you know, her father. That was it. That was the only thing she was doing, was working with her dad.
Yeah.
But I was the first person that was, especially at the level that I was at that time, to say, hey man, could you take a look at this for me, just to, you know, so I can have an extra set of eyes. Because I was like you. I ain't had no manager. I ain't had no, and there's certain things I still do. I still book my own flights, my own hotel rooms. I drive my own rental cars, because there's certain things that it's hard to let go when you that one man show like that.
Yeah.
But I realized,
it get tricky, man.
I got to that point where I realized, man, I need another set of eyes.
Yeah.
And that was the set of eyes that I decided to go to. And we've been together ever since. And I'm like, aside from the work, like just who she is as a person, as a woman, like when my mama passed away, I watched my mama die. When I came out into that hospital hallway, that's the first person that was right there to greet me at my most. It's a different level. She wasn't. That ain't no responsibility. She ain't had to.
Yeah, that
ain't got nothing to do with work. That ain't got nothing to do with
family.
That's the way I've been blessed in the game. So I say all that to say, like, being the type of person that you are, I hope that you're not closed off to it, because I know it's kind of difficult coming from your environment, but just leave yourself,
and I'm not closed
the
off
eyesight
to it,
to be able to recognize if somebody is another set of eyes for you.
Yeah, and I ain't closed off to it, like, but it's just it gotta feel right, and I think I'm in a place where I don't even feel. So it's gonna be rough to get it to feel right when I'm having trouble feeling.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? I'm like,
where you think that come from though?
I think feelings have got me nowhere. It's been a long time since I've got any reward for feelings. You know what I mean? I've only lost when feelings was involved, right? Whether that's emotionally, whether that's me talking out of feelings, anything involved my feelings outside of my children and things like that, that they gonna bear witness to love. They don't gotta hear that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I let them bear witness. But everything else, that things that didn't come from my soul, or I didn't come from their soul, like my mother, or you know what I mean, or my children, that lineage of my bloodline, and that specific lineage, because it don't really go outside of that. My uncle is in that, but outside of that, it gets spooky, gets slippery. But I think because I've lost, man, like I haven't, and I'm so intelligent. It's hard. I take a loss to the heart, man. Right? I shake it off. You know, and I take it to the chin after. But boy, at first I take it to the heart, because I think of almost every scenario of everything that ever happens. Yeah. I'm always thinking you can't get me, even when I got busted. That was my thing. I had shrunk my shit down to like 9 people. There ain't no way they can get me. All these niggas I'm helping, everybody's under me some kind of way. It ain't no way they can get me. And they got me. Right. And when they got me, I went into like a slight depression, like, you just slipped. I lost $40,000, just spare the moment, just cash laying around. You know what I'm saying? Then I lost a truck. I went to jail. I gets back out of jail. This is my first time where they say, yo, you got to get a job. It's part of your thing.
Your release. Yeah.
I said, damn.
And had you never had a job prior to that in your life?
Well, I had a job in my life, but I was to the point then where we ain't working. I don't work. It's cramping. It feel funny. I was young and dumb. It felt working. Working for who and why? But they forced me to work. And when they did that, it was probably the best thing that happened to me. But I'm gonna talk to you about this. When I get out of jail, they take my money. I got a bond now, got to get a lawyer. So I'm losing money. Like the stash is going like shoom, 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 shoom. It's going down. And I get that job. I just go to one of these little spots with drive a forklift, $15 an hour, just anything to show the judge I'm working, dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When I get in there, I tell my number one, I start working 15 hours a day, just period, just on some other shit.
15 hours a day?
Yeah, with all the niggas, because it was more of a community in there. It was a bunch of niggas in there. This really was work, but it was niggas like.
Yeah.
It was like, like, it was just a bunch. It was like, I'm trying to stay out of jail. But here go the thing, my cash got low and I still had work. So I'm out on bond. And I tell myself, I say, man, I gotta get some work off because I'm running out of money.
Right.
But I think they watching me now because they just caught me. You see? Mm-hmm. So I'm forced to, man, I when I was catching plays then, this is what I'm telling you, this is when I said to myself, I knew that I had too much on the line. Because when I had to catch plays on bond when I had just been caught a week ago. This be the dumb position the street guys end up in, man. They don't even have enough money to sustain long enough. Like, I had I had just got straight. They took the money when they ran in and got me. I sold a nigga something. They come get me, take that money. I got a bond out. I got to get a lawyer. I need a new car now. They just took the car, right? So they put you in a hole. Then I got to go get a job, meaning you can't touch nothing. Mm-hmm. But how funny is it that we'll never have to use our resume again?
You know what? You know what's crazy? I think that the resume is kind of obsolete in the way that it used to.
You think for the traditional job?
Yeah,
the
I think even for the traditional job, because now it's so much access to information that wasn't available before now. You know what I mean? You think at a time a resume was really your way of showing people your work history and who you are. Now people walk around every day and document their day-to-day lives. So even, you know, how you could used to be able to lie on a resume, or you can water it down and try to make yourself feel like you know, just so you can get in the position. All that's kind of, out of the way now.
That's the point. It's like a lot of people used to water. I think they still tricking people with their resume though.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you could get away with it. Because usually what people don't understand about having a real job or a corporate job is they're going to train you to do the job once you get it. It's just about getting it. All that other shit is just showing that you have the ability to be able to sustain long-term employment.
Yes.
That's really what they're trying to see.
Yes.
They're going to train you to do whatever
and
it is they
so
hire
if
you
you
for.
lying on there, that might X you right on that. When
Yeah.
they wasn't looking for experience, they was looking for that you can sustain
sustain a job. So it's like now when you come in, this the interview process, and I only know this from just knowing people who have to go do interviews for real jobs. The questions, the line of questioning is completely different now. Like, you got the resume is just what gets you into the interview.
Yeah.
Now when you in that interview, that's what
I wonder what they asking them.
Oh, they checking your social media.
For real?
They asking you what? Every job that I know people that have gotten, they running your social media. All of it.
How they
your
running
Twitter,
it back off your name?
They finding out. They ask you to list it. That's a question now. List all
and
your social media.
You can't really be like, I ain't got no social media.
Now, what is the resume now when you got to put your handles on? They make you put whatever your social media handles is. They make you put your Instagram and if you ain't smart enough to go wash it out, but then you don't know what they looking for.
Then
so you can go wash it.
Then they got websites that take a picture of the internet every day. So they got a website. This is how, and I learned this off them, and I'm gonna bleep this name, but I learned this off them fucking.
Oh, word.
So something about that he I think he was off because there's a lawsuit coming, so they took that shit off.
Yeah, they watched
But niggas went in, they showed. That's why I got the website from. Again, that's why I'm saying when I even consume media, and then I'm click back in somewhere. But even when I consume media, it's always information. Like even if I'm watching something that's like, and they make a reference to, yeah, but you didn't know that you can go to such and such and such and see where the internet was on that day. I said, there's another tool.
Yeah, so it's like, and there's people that's their job to be able to make sure that they find everything that you do in the corporate world, especially. Like, so just the resume and the utilization of it for me, I don't even think that even if I was still out here trying to get a job that I would be conventional in my way of using it because
but I think it's a hook though. I think it gets you the look. That resume gets you the look, man.
You think so? Still?
I mean, I don't know. I could be out of touch.
Yeah, I think we both might be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Could be out
but
of touch.
The fact of never having to use one again, I don't think that that's the case because this is your resume. Now.
Yeah, but I mean,
you mean
you'll
on
never have
paper.
to work a conventional job again.
I mean, you're right in regards to a 9 to 5 and
That's what I
clocking
mean.
a number
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
but
that's what I mean.
This being your job,
But this
is the new
freedom compared to what Mama and them went through.
Oh, of
compared
course,
to,
without question.
And that's with
Without
perspective.
question.
We can't
Without
lose
question.
perspective, right?
Without question.
That's what I'm saying. I'm still hung up on perspective.
Yeah.
This is freedom to Mama and them.
Oh yeah, beyond
You see what I'm saying? Being able to get up when you want, go to bed when you want.
Right.
And it's fun working. Listen, I enjoy what I do so much that when I have fun time, I'm still doing what I do to work.
Yeah.
Because that's what I enjoy doing, right?
That's the blessing.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You know what I mean? And even in the point that I was making is this being your resume, I was just saying in regards to those opportunities and things we was talking about, this is what they come to.
Right.
And this is what they utilizing in that regard.
Yes.
But as far as what you talking about with Mama and them,
Right.
that's my silver lining and everything.
Yeah.
Like I see people who have to make sure that they do something on their birthday or have to make sure that they do something on Memorial Day. And I get it because you are locked into a day-to-day schedule that is requiring you to be on somebody else's time for money.
So you celebrate.
So you celebrate being able to be on your time and the time that's dedicated for you and the days that is justified that the people who time you on or give you a pass or it's your birthday or
Right.
or it's a holiday.
Right.
The good part about what we do is every day I get up and go outside. If you had to have me describe what a birthday would be like as a young nigga, this would be what I would describe.
Every day.
Every single day.
Every day.
So that is definitely a blessing in regards to what we get to do.
Because we could have been trapped in doing something we didn't enjoy doing.
Oh, my God.
Because as a man, you sacrifice freedom to pay the bills. You sacrifice fun to pay the bills. They've trained men to, once you have children, once you have a wife, once you have a family, you go out the window.
Mm-hmm.
You sacrifice you for them.
Yeah.
And so now you trapped in, just get my lunch in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Or the big piece of chicken like Chris Rock say.
The
right.
big piece of chicken. They break you all the way down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They'll work a man all the way to nothing.
Yeah.
And then let him die and then sell his house.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as men, us being able to shake out of that and say, I've created a system where I can still do things that have freedom but still provide. So I ain't abandoned the traditional way of taking care of my family and providing, but I have abandoned the thinking of doing it by way of
social customs and the way that my great granddaddy and daddy and all of them really did their best, but didn't even get to a quarter of what I done been blessed to be able to touch.
My God.
You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things that motivated me to get on stage is I had never been to my father's gravesite before I graduated college. And I went and he didn't have a headstone. And I was like, damn. And just understanding how shit worked, it's like whatever he had done in his life hadn't garnered him enough to be able to get a marker to let the world know he existed, nor did anybody around him have the ability to be able to do it. So that means he was fucked up, everybody around him was fucked up, and even if they weren't fucked up, because they was he was in the streets and a hustler and all that, but once you go, so does everything that was with you. That shit get left here, and then the scavengers come out.
Yes.
Death brings the worst out of people. people that, you know, it's a problem for the living, but it brings the worst out the living. Your family, they steal, they take all types of shit. So that means that the love that my mother had for him at that time, which was displayed to me in that moment that I had never seen before, didn't have enough wherewithal in the people that were responsible for him to be able to do what was right by him in that moment. So all of that made me know that, man, I can't go out like a patch of grass, man. I got to be more than that. I got to be more than what God took from him in regard to his life. Whatever he had did at that point wasn't enough for him to be able to later the world. If it wasn't for me being here, I'm the legacy now.
That's what I'm saying.
So that let me know that when I say that I beat the game already, like, I didn't beat the game 10 times. And my main goal was just being able to not be that. But now,
and the standard for them, he done something in that time that was enough just to keep them afloat. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same with my people, my granddaddy. But they did and it took everything they had to keep them afloat. They broke them men down back then, man.
Yeah. Like, you can tell because you look at the old pictures, niggas can't even grow the mustache the same way no more. You see how them niggas in the back in the day, the whispers, nigga, you see how them niggas mustaches used to look? When the last time you seen a young nigga with a mustache that thick, man? You know what I mean? The Tuskegee Airmen jump. Niggas don't even grow them no more. I'm dead serious. Like, that's the type of shit I noticed, man. Like, the black man, just the type of work and shit that they had to do back there was just
knocked all the fire.
Exactly, man. So to get in this position now is a blessing, man. It's a blessing all the way because I know that even though I never had that connection and never had that direct, you know, example of what I'm supposed to be, I know that whatever was in him is in me. Whether I'm able to identify the parts that are stronger, you know, I've never got that opportunity, but I know that whoever he was is embedded in who I am.
Right.
So now I have a free range to be able to take this shit to the levels that, you know, he wasn't fortunate enough to be able to take it to before God took his life. You know what I mean?
Man, that's deep. That's deep, bro. I'm gonna take a piss right quick.
Nah, go do your thing, bro. I'm in.
But I'm saying, all I want, if he would have set everything up and then showed me, that's cool. Even that's cool. Cause you ain't here yet.
Right.
So we still got room to grow. You know what I mean? We still got room to talk. But nigga, you done interrupted your regular scheduled program. You get what I'm saying? Man.
Yeah, I already know the type of conversation nigga was having with you, man. And that's the thing. And that's one of my favorite things about you, man, is I remember when I seen that you did the, hey, man, don't get nobody my phone number, man. Because niggas is finessing their way up under other men to finesse phone numbers up. I was just thinking, what was the call that made you say that? I know them calls, but it had to be one that made you say, you know what, fun, let me just put this PSA out there.
I got so many calls. Wallow called me, said that made me change my number. Wallow said, one of my, you know, we all got several phones, but he's like, man, that made me change one of my numbers because I should have been done it because it be finesse, right? I got a phone call because they get up under him or somebody, right? And they pitching. But I ain't catching because I know if you got a bag for me,
it's channels.
It's a way to get them. It's a way to get some money to me. And I respect a nigga who brought some money to me because that say he know the fight I'm in. That's why I keep telling you I have to evaluate my relationships because I'm in a different fight than you niggas that been in this house 20 years. Y'all been here. I'm coming from somewhere that if this don't work, I fall on my face, which it can't do nothing but work because I'm too well read and studied on this thing. It can't do nothing but work. But if it ain't no relationship, let's keep it there because it's value in me peeping game that you niggas running.
Right.
And the muzzle you trying to put on the shotgun.
Yeah.
It's hard to put a muzzle on a shotgun.
Yeah.
That motherfucker still gonna make a little noise.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard. So I'm watching and it's like, I don't know, bro. It's like, I don't know. I try my best to navigate it the best way I can. I'm not emotional. Stay out your feelings about it because it's business.
Yeah.
But, yo, people say all the time, especially from my view, my perspective, I make more money talking about you niggas than talking to you niggas. Right? Because you've been running the same game 20 years and I can cut that shit right down or see through it A lot of niggas have came to me because they don't have a choice. I'm coming your way with some eyeballs, homie.
Right.
I'm about to swing your way with the chopper.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and this is what makes me think like, because I'm not getting those calls that I should be getting at this point. And I know what I should be getting because I've studied this game inside out. Like you say, at a certain point, you got that college call to start fucking with them colleges. I don't know if you studied the game enough to know whether or not you was at that point. But some people are at a point where they don't know that, yo, you should be doing this at this point. Because everything is so important, I think I'm examining it with a fine-tooth comb.
Right.
And I'm not wrong for that because I'm 100% of my money in this. Like, again, and I say this only for creators that's behind me that, like, you can do this by yourself. And that's why I've always said, yo, I done it by myself. Yo, I'm a nigga done it. I done it. I did it because I know it's dudes following me that's saying, man, I might got to click up with 10 people.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily got to do that.
I mean, like, you know, like I said, the type of work that I did prior to getting into
Let's get into that.
Getting into doing comedy gave me a lot of perspective, Loon, like about how the human mind works. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different mind tricks that people don't understand that's going on out here. You know what I mean? Like give you one, the halo effect. Now what the halo effect is when you get a piece of information and I give you the highest form of whatever my piece of information is, and you disregard the rest of the information because the first piece that I gave you was so valuable to you, i.e. when we was talking about a resume. If I got a resume and it says that I went to Harvard University, boom, that's the biggest piece of information that you can have, not knowing that this person that might have went to this HBCU is way more qualified to be able to do this job. But because of the halo effect, is you see that, and that's what it is. And that's a lot of me having these different types of perspectives, or the anchoring effect. Like that's another mind trick. It's like when you set somebody up with something to make them feel, to break them down on the back end. Like, man, yeah, man, I got these diamond chains right here, man. These bitches going for $100,000. You know what I mean? $100,000. But I got this one right here, man. You can get it for $8,000.
See,
so now
this shit is keep going. That shit deep.
You know what I mean? Like these are different things that you learn in the work that I've done, because you come up with people who don't have deal with people and work with people who don't have control of their mental stability in certain ways. So you have to be able to recognize certain things to not be taken advantage of by these people who you assume yourself to be smarter than. You know what I mean? And that has helped me a lot in perspective, as you said, in this game, like in being able to be comfortable in my position and not be concerned with nobody else, because I understand that, it's so many different ways.
Are you in competition?
Well, that's a wrap for part 1. Part 2, we switch the dynamics, and it gets really, really interesting. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this video. We've been climbing expeditiously. It's been a very important time in our career. I want to, again, thank everybody from the center of my soul. If you need more Loon, come to patreon.com. It's up there, podcast. Listen, we're revamping 2024, and we're behind the scenes right now talking to our fans about it. So get over there. We're about to go over the Dr. Umar Johnson interview, and we're also about to explain the rollout in regards to that and what's next for that particular piece of content. We also got a Big Bank part 2. We got a couple of other big names coming through, and we got some big stuff in the works. I want to ask that everyone that's watching this, hit subscribe, hit like, and hit share. It continues to tell me that a high percentage, 70-something, almost 80% of people that watch this are not subscribed. I want to ask you to do me that favor, subscribe. We are running a business. To support the business, you do need to come to patreon.com. It's up there, podcast. It's the way that you show me that you're more than just a viewer, just someone that just watches as we continue to put this game down. One thing I want to appreciate about y'all is that there's a lot of conversations being had in this market right now, but I can feel y'all wanting me to have conversations with certain people. And we're going to open the dialogue back up. And we're gonna let them have the conversations over here on this side. I thank everybody, man. I see y'all soon. We got so much coming. 2024 will be even stronger, even better version of ourselves. And I hope you'll be there to witness it. Thank you. See you soon.